Hello, everyone. My name is Bianca Jade, and right now I am with one of our counselors, Mr. Don Scott, who also has a different role in our community. He's also a lawyer, so speak to me a little bit about this wonderful opportunity that you've just been given in your other career side.
I'm very proud to have been appointed as a QC, which is short for Queen's Counsel. That's an honor that's given to lawyers in the legal profession. It's a long-standing tradition that's been around for about 400 years. So I'm extremely proud, and no one is more proud than my mother. As soon as I told her, she was probably the most excited person around. It's an honor, so there's no formal addition that you get with being a QC, except that you are entitled to call yourself a QC, but it is a great honor, and it's a great tradition.
So right here in Fort McMurray, also our MP Brian Jean was added to the list. So what does it mean, do you think, for the community to now have two members that were added to that list right now?
And Brian and I are just the two newest members. There are other members of the community who are already QCs, but I think it's an important aspect of the community that members of this community, in particular Fort McMurray, are recognized. So I'm really proud that Brian and I are both the newest members of the Queen's Counsel.
Now, right here in Fort McMurray, the other day we saw a very famous lawyer go on and move now back to BC. But how do you think our law community in Fort McMurray has changed over the years?
We have a tremendously strong legal community in Fort McMurray. We are on the cutting edge of law up here because we are so busy. And there is so much activity happening here in Fort McMurray that every lawyer is extremely busy. So we get a chance to practice almost every kind of law up here. And lawyers, I always describe them as having a short ladder in Fort McMurray. They get to do cases that in other communities you might wait years to do because there's so few lawyers and there's so much activity happening.
So how's your title now? Is it Mr. Don Scott, QC, keeps going, counselor?
At some point it'll be Donald Scott QC, but there's actually going to be a ceremony probably in late February is what I understand, and that's when it becomes official. I think the appointment was made by the government, but then there's a ceremony and that's when it becomes official at that point. So I'm really proud of that. And as I said, my mother's even more proud, so I'm excited for her as much as for myself.
Well, congratulations. Once again, I've been joined by Mr. Don Scott, who is now soon be Mr. Scott QC. Thanks, everyone.